Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Titan del 86. Here you will find everything from your favorite characters, from anime, series or movies, such as figures, statues, trading cards, and other limited special edition items. I will show you everything that is included. For example, we will discuss the design of the box, how it's packaged, the design of the figure, the articulation points, the accessories that are included, and we will see our favorite characters in special scenes. And you never know, you might see other characters make special guest appearances, so you can decide whether it's worth getting or not. Subscribe and join me on new weekly adventures. Now let's start the show. Let's go. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel. My name is Titan del 86 and today from S.H.Figuarts and Marvel's GAMERVERSE I present to you Wolverine. Looking through the window you can basically see the entire figure with everything that's included. On the side you have a picture of Wolverine. On the back side of the box you have Wolverine in different poses. And one thing that is included with this figure is a backdrop, which is Wolverine doing one of his special X moves. For this one, Wolverine is depicted as how he appeared in X-Men Children of the Atom, including Marvel's superheroes, as well as in X-Men the series. Wolverine comes in one blister pack. As far as accessories, he doesn't have that many. The only thing you're getting is two sets of interchangeable Wolverine claws, including two sets of wrists, and also the ability to have them with the claws drawn or withdrawn. So S.H.Figuarts didn't really do so much here. Towards the left you can see the backdrop for Wolverine's X ability, which is something that was done in the X-Men Children of the Atom. Once the gauge was fully filled up, you could do special moves. Here's a quick pass of the instructions where it shows you all the different pieces, how to swap out the heads, how to interchange the claws. Then on the back side you have the warnings of sharp pieces in sections that may rub off, and also how to do the background. Here's the 360 of Wolverine straight out of the box. For first impressions, I like the details that S.H.Figuarts incorporated. He really looks true to how he showed up in the anime and also in the video games. Also, the one thing that I'm noticing is if you look at his arms, you kind of see the hair highlights, just showing that he is a very hairy person. I'm not sure if this is going to vary figure by figure because you can really see the cut lines there or where the paint's supposed to be. So I'm not sure if they're supposed to give it this grainy hairy look or if the lines are all supposed to be fully painted. But I have a feeling that this hairstyle is going to vary figure by figure, because I'm very sure that S.H.Figuarts is not going to be able to keep up to be consistent as how they do the arm hair. One thing that I see on this figure is he is very bulky and he's got a strong stance, so balancing the figure should be very easy. As far as the materials used in the figure, it seems to be mostly that hard plastic. I don't see any of the soft rubber plastic materials being used that S.H.Figuarts has started using on other figures. The other thing is you want to be careful with the figure. He does have sharp points, for example the face mask, the boots, and you cannot forget about the claws. The claws are somewhat delicate. Now let's check out what articulation points come with this Wolverine. So it's got good head movement, but I'm not really getting a good 360. That looks normal. This one, as you see here, it's more at an angle, where most figures is horizontal, but on this one it's kind of like it's more diagonal. So this is as low as you can see, and this is as high, which is really good, and I think that's where the diagonal angle comes in handy, which makes it also ideal for him to look side to side. So neck movement is really good actually, and you can see it's got not one joint like usual figures, but actually three. You have the first segment, second segment, and then you get the third segment, which is right in the back of the head, which is why he's able to move this way. Head articulation, I think this is one of the better figures that we've seen on this channel. Now for the shoulder, as you see, just like the S.H.Figuarts Wolverine from the Deadpool movie, it's got the same formula where the piece is only attached to the back section of the shoulder. So it has some articulation points here. down and up, and looks like a little bit of rotational. And then here's the extension for the shoulder. So this is as close center as the arms can go, which is really good. But for some reason I was expecting a little bit more just to have from that extension piece. This is how the arms go. Here's your 360 of the arm. This is as far back as they go. You can get some movement out of the bicep, but it's kind of difficult. You see it? It's almost unnatural. I'm just gonna take off the claws just to make it easier. Here's the elbow. He's got some forearm movement here by the glove. 360 off the wrist. There's your up and down. Arm articulation is really good. It's got good chest movement. It's got 3 segments there, as you see. Again, it's got 1, 2, 3, which help with the movement. It's got good side to side, and we should be able to get some rotational. He also comes with an extension. You see that? To get more movement out of there. So you can pull it up and down depending on what you're trying to do. This is as far as the leg goes. This is as far back, which honestly I was expecting more. Especially with how it's cut. As you see here, it's got the, I want to say it's got kind of like the thong cut there. But for some reason it's still limited. So leg movement is not that much better than the Wolverine from the Deadpool movie. Got good thigh rotation there. Here's the split. There's the knee. So the knee has 2 sections again. First one, and there's the second one. Here's for the ankles. So all the way down, all the way up, the toes. He's got a second segment there, as you see, which can give you both an extreme inboard and outboard. So you're just gonna have to balance out how you want to do the articulating point there. Articulation points wise is really good to what we expect from S.H.Figuarts. I do want to say the articulation points on this one is a lot better than the one that came from the Deadpool movie. Here's a 1-to-1 comparison between the Wolverine as depicted in Deadpool and Wolverine versus Marvel's GAMERVERSE Wolverine. As you can see, they're quite different, especially in the body size. Immediately you will notice how bulky the Wolverine from the GAMERVERSE is compared to the one depicted in the movie. You can see some of the throwback key designs from the Wolverine that showed up in the Deadpool movie versus the one from the animated series, from where the inspiration is drawn out. But having both of the figures here, you can see the body mass and the muscle structures are completely different. And in case you haven't checked out my video of this S.H.Figuarts Wolverine from the Deadpool movie, I suggest you go check it out. The other one is the size of the claws. Looking at the movie version of Wolverine, the claws are more straight and they're skinnier and almost very thin and delicate, where the ones from the video game Wolverine are more bulkier and they are spread wider. Here's a close-up of the 2 expressions that come with Wolverine. I'm not too happy that they only gave us 2. So the first one is a yelling expression, while the second one is a grunting expression. It would have been a lot better if they gave us a third one showing a neutral and possibly a fourth one just showing him without the mask. If they would have given us those 2 additional expressions, the figure would have been better in the overall execution. Here's a close-up of how they did the backdrop of the Fatal Claw. This is exactly how it showed up in the video game when you did the X moves. I like that it's pixelated and everything. It just gives you a good throwback at the video game. The backdrop is made out of cardboard box, so both pieces are the same size as the box that the figure came in. So that's why it was broken up into 2 sections with 2 flaps that overlap the same image, just to help create the extended display portion of it, which I like, because sometimes when you get some of these backgrounds, they only think of the vertical, they don't really think of the horizontal, where it works really good on the vertical side, but when you try to do something horizontal with the background, it just doesn't work. It would have been nice if they gave you the stand that they actually showed in the picture. As far as the cardboard goes, it's the same thickness and same style that the box of the figure is done. For this scene, I have Wolverine doing the tornado claw. From playing the video games, this was one of my favorite moves other than the berserk claw. For this move, Wolverine basically uses his claws and spins similar to a tornado, hence the name tornado claw, with both arms at a 90-degree angle. That way he is doing maximum damage with his claws, and he also does this similar move same way in the horizontal direction, where on that one the dominant arm is speared forward while still keeping the other one in a 90-degree L shape as he does damage similar to a drill. So he is very versatile in the moves that you can do in the video game for close combat, and these are more aimed to have higher hit combos, but nevertheless, here it is. I added the wind effect part just to make the move look more vicious. As he is cutting through the air, you can see the wind highlighted, similar to how Shinoshikawa's Nichiren blade would cut through the air. And this one's no exception with Wolverine's claws, as they also cut through the air, so you can kind of see the aura that is left behind as he's slicing and dicing. And if you're a Demon Slayer fan, especially of Shinoshikawa, I suggest you check out my review of the boss mod variant. One thing to notice if you're watching the video game as he does these particular moves, it's best not to watch it in slow motion, because it seems like they gave them two right hand arms, where doing it in the figure you see it as a more natural pose, and I think that was just lack on the graphics side, where they were trying to get the image knowing that it was going really quick, so your eyes probably wouldn't catch it. But now with technology you can freeze frame it and all that, and you can see where it doesn't really make sense. And honestly, it's the same thing if you watch Dragon Ball Z, where if you do it in slow motion there, they become really weird. For this scene, I have Wolverine doing the berserk claw as Psylocke's trying to prepare for it, and she's also thinking of a counterattack. So let's see how that pans out. So if you remember, this is the Psylocke from Hasbro's Marvel Legends series, which is also doing their own version of the Gamerverse. If you're paying attention, you can see some of the joint limitations. For example, one thing that we can see that is done on the S.H.Figuarts is you have more segments, especially in the neck and the abdomen of the Wolverine, which in the Psylocke one you don't. You have one under her chest and one right above her waist. So right there from the bat you can see that the Hasbro versions have a little bit more restriction on their articulating points. And that is also true if you narrow down into the key details of Hasbro's own version of Wolverine. And that one, just by looking at the stock photos, I could see that the neck only has one segment, and similar to how the Psylocke was done, he's got one segment right below the chest. So from there I can gather that the articulations, they're not going to be as good as the ones that we're seeing from this S.H.Figuarts Wolverine. The other thing is, as far as the details go, they look very similar. The other thing that I see on the Hasbro version, they only give you one set of fists. One is to have with the blades drawn out, and the other one is to have the blades withdrawn. Where in this Wolverine version from S.H.Figuarts, you get two sets of wrists, similar to Hasbro, but they did it in a different slick interchangeable way, where they made the blades interchangeable to show the blades in the open drawn position and also to show them in the withdrawn. And that is because on the section of the hand by the knuckle area, they made it detachable so you can swap out the claws. The other difference is that Hasbro only gave you the wrist in the fist position, where S.H.Figuarts gives you one in the fist position and the other one with the open hand. And this is what I am showing you here, is the two variants of the wrist that you're getting. The one thing that I did like about the Hasbro version is that they did give you a really good effect part where you can do the weapon X attack or also show him slicing through the air, where on S.H.Figuarts you didn't really get an effect part other than the backdrop. And the other thing is the price. For the price of this Wolverine from S.H.Figuarts, if you go with the Hasbro one, not only do you get Wolverine, but you also get the Silver Samurai. And that is something that I like. You're getting two figures for the price of one when compared to the S.H.Figuarts. But it does come with a drawback. So at that point, it's mostly up to you on how you want to go about it. Whether you want to get two figures for the price of one, or just go for the S.H.Figuarts and get the additional set of claws. and the extra articulation. And that is also something that I saw on the Salak figure. For those of you that didn't watch my video, I suggest you go look at it, where I showed you the articulation points that not only Salak had, but as well as Thanos. So for that one, I leave it up to you on which way you want to go. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts, especially if you're one of those that went and got the Hasbro Wolverine. Let me know how that figure turned out. For this scene, I have Wolverine doing his special X move, which is Weapon X. I know the backdrop calls out for Fatal Claw, as you see, but to me this one's a little bit similar to the background that you get when he does the Weapon X move. And being honest, I'd rather do this particular pose than do the other one, because when you look at Fatal Claw, it looks like he's being blown away by this massive amount of energy. But to me, by doing Weapon X, it seems like he's tearing right through the opponent. So far, I think based on what I'm seeing, I think the S.H.Figuarts ones are doing it a little bit better than the Hasbro ones. But I think the Hasbro has the better execution by giving you more 2-for-1 figures and giving you accessories that you can actually use, unlike these cardboard boxes that you're getting as a background from S.H.Figuarts. This is all I have for you today. If you like what you have seen, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, share the video, and I'll see you next week with a brand new one. Thank you and bye.